Hello, Room 6 friends. It's Teacher Rachel, and I told a lot of you guys that I was going to read to you this book, Those Darn Squirrels and the Cat Next Door, today. And this is the same author as Dragons Love Tacos, so I think you guys are going to really enjoy this book. But first, I want you to meet my new friend, and this friend has a very fuzzy tail, and you see them in the park. I want you to meet Mr. Squirrel. So first I'm going to sing Once There Was a Little Squirrel for you. Once there was a little squirrel, little squirrel, little squirrel. Once there was a little squirrel who came to school one day. Mr. Squirrel would like to know your name, know your name, know your name. Mr. Squirrel would like to know your name, and this is what he asked. What's your name? My name? My name's Rachel. My name is Rachel, Rachel, Rachel. My name is Rachel. Now it's your turn. Now you can sing it with your families and then watch the story. So we're going to say bye to Squirrel for now. Okay. Here's our story, Those Darn Squirrels and the Cat Next Door. And the author's name is Adam Rubin. And one cool thing about this copy of my book is that inside, the author wrote me a message and he signed his name. It's called a signature or an autograph. All right, let's get started. Those Darn Squirrels and the Cat Next Door. And see some squirrel tails. Let's see. How many do we see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 squirrel tails. Here's a picture of the cat. Looks like the cat's in the bakery. Old Man Fookwire lived on the edge of the forest just outside town. He was a terrible grump, and in the wintertime, he was even grumpier than usual. Whenever it snowed, he would shut his eyes tight and think of summer. He missed sunshine, suntan lotion, and weenie roasts. Those are hot dogs. But most of all, he missed the birds who flew south when it got cold. You see his window? He's looking out his window, and what does he see? He sees all the snow because it's winter. During the lonely winter months, the only critters left in Fookwire's backyard were squirrels. Now, not many people know this, but squirrels are the champions of the forest. They are craftier than beavers, smarter than foxes, and swifter than rabbits. They are also full of mischief. When it got too cold outside, the squirrels would drop in through Fookwire's mail slot and visit him at home. They'd warm themselves by the fire and finish the old man's crossword puzzles. When Fookwire woke up, he'd chase them out with a broom. Then he'd shake his old man fist and yell, "Those darn squirrels!" See, they came in through the mail slot. Old Man Fookwire thought spring would never come, but eventually the forest bloomed and the birds returned from their winter vacation. Whirly birds chomped on tumbleberries, bonga birds snacked on honey snaps, and the flugelbird ate farfel seeds until he got so full he had to lie down. Fookwire danced through the yard with delight. He set up his easel and brushes. Then he painted the birds till he got blisters on his fingers. Tired and happy, the old man went inside for a quiet afternoon snack. And suddenly, kaboom! Old Man Fookwire spilled cottage cheese all over his suspenders. There's the cottage cheese. Kablam! The flugelbird fell out of his nest. Klabooey! The squirrels had to restart their annual chess tournament. They're playing chess. The noise was coming from the house across the stream. It was the sound of a small woman unloading enormous crates and moving in. That's his neighbor. That's someone who lives next door to you. Fookwire's new neighbor was little old Lady Hugh, the town baker. The only thing sweeter than the pies Hugh baked was little old lady herself. Everyone in town loved her, but no one could stand her cat, Muffins. He was a real jerk. Hugh didn't see things that way. She thought Muffins was a cuddly honey bunny. But after the infamous poodle incident, she decided to move to the forest so that her cat could make some new friends. The cat is named Muffins. After unpacking her crates, little old Lady Hugh baked a tumbleberry pie. Then she and Muffins went to say hello to their new neighbor. Fookwire despised conversation, so he hid behind the drapes. The squirrels were scared of the cat, so they hid inside the drain pipes. The birds weren't sure why everyone was hiding, but they stuffed themselves down the chimney just to be safe. See, he's hiding there, and then the squirrels are hiding in here. Eventually, Hugh got tired of waiting for Fookwire to answer the door. She walked around the front, pushed the pie through the mail slot, and went home. Normally, Old Man Fookwire hated pie, but this one smelled delicious. He took a deep whiff, and he closed his eyes. When he opened them, the squirrels were licking the plate clean. "Those darn squirrels!" shouted Fookwire. Full and happy, the squirrels stumbled from the house, where Muffins ambushed them. The dastardly cat grabbed one squirrel and he gave him a wet willy. He snatched another and gave her a noogie. Then he tied two squirrels' tails together. Tied them together? Luckily, little old Lady Hugh returned before Muffins could do more. She scooped him up and scratched him under the chin. "Oh, come now, Schnookums," she cooed. "It's time for dinner. You can play with your new friends another day." The next morning, Muffins burst into the yard, terrifying the birds and interrupting Old Man Fookwire's painting. Then the sneaky cat pounced on an unsuspecting group of squirrels and gave them all wedgies. Not an easy thing to do, because generally squirrels do not wear underpants. The squirrels were furious. The birds flew up to the treetops and refused to come down. And Old Man Fookwire was so upset, he wrote a letter to the mayor to complain about his new neighbors. That night, the squirrels held a meeting to figure out what to do about the cat next door. They ate cheese puffs and drank ginger ale to help them think. Finally, they had it. The perfect plan. When Muffins came over the next day, the birds were feeding peacefully beneath a tree. A wicked smile came over the cat's fluffy face. He wriggled his haunches and launched himself through the air. The frightened birds swooped into the sky, yanking the strings the squirrels had tied to their tail feathers. The strings sprang the trap, and the cat was doused with a gallon of freezing cold water. Muffins let out a furious yowl. Ow! Old Man Fookwire ran outside when he heard the terrible noise. "Great googly moogly," he explained. "That pathetic wretch is no bigger than a squirrel." It was true. Underneath all his fluff and fuzz, Muffins was nothing but a skinny malink. That's a funny word. He lowered his head in embarrassment and sloshed his way home as fast as he could. The squirrels' plan had worked perfectly. They gave each other high fives. The baba bird snickered, the yabba birds chuckled, and the flogal bird enjoyed his hearty guffaw. Fookwire snapped his suspenders with delight. "Those darn squirrels," he said fondly. Old Man Fookwire never warmed up to his new neighbors. He was a grump, after all. But little old Lady Hugh became quite good chums with the birds and squirrels. Each Saturday when the bakery closed, she brought all the unsold cakes and pies and cookies home. She set them out on her picnic table, and everyone gathered for a delicious, fun-filled feast. Look at all the squirrels. Everyone except the cat next door, who refused to leave the house ever again. The end. Thank you for listening, friends, and I'll see you tomorrow at large group. Bye-bye.